Hey, what is up, YouTube? I am back, and on this video, we're gonna compare some Chinese-made headers. These are made by Power Go Motorsports. I'm not sure who that is. Haven't really heard of them. And we're gonna compare them to some USA-made headers. These right here are made by Doug Thorley. So let's go ahead and show you the pro and cons of each, and when you would buy the Chinese ones versus American-made ones. So for those of you that don't know me or it's your first time on this channel, my name is Ella Swap SD. Some people call me Swap. The reason I don't show my face a lot is because I want you guys to focus on my work, not on my ugly mug. But if you guys don't follow me on Instagram, I post there a lot, pretty much weekly. And my Instagram is at LSWapSD. And if you guys are on TikTok, because you're too young for Instagram, my Instagram handle is at LSWapSD as well. So you guys can follow me on either platform. I rarely post on YouTube just because trying to film content this way and then this way, it kind of takes a lot of work. Plus, I want to make sure I focus on my customers, getting their projects done in time. But last week I posted about Chinese headers versus American made headers, and I had a lot of comments, a lot of hate. Some people agreed, some people disagreed. So let's go ahead and talk about it, and we're gonna figure out, or we're gonna discuss why I prefer quality headers versus these Chinese no-name headers. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and put these Chinese headers back on the vehicle and show you what I'm talking about as far as fitment and everything else. All right, so I got the headers back on. Fitment wise, as you can see, they clear the frame real easy. It's not hard to install them because you have so much clearance here. Let's look at the passenger side. Passenger side, same thing. Super easy to install. They clear the frame, no problem. But on this side, the customer did bring it in because he was having a few issues, and we decided to upgrade the headers. But on this side, you can see where number 5 was misfiring. It was arcing down to the header itself. It wasn't touching. You can see there was a gap there, but it was still enough to where it was arcing across and misfiring there. And then we look at this one, number 1, and it was actually touching the header, the bolt right there. Um, but I'm not sure if that one was misfiring or not. So you can see that even if you have clearance to where it's not touching, where's my finger at? Right there, to where it's not touching the header, it can still misfire. So that was the issue. But notice how close the actual headers are to the spark plugs and how much gap you have in between. Now, same thing on this side. If you can notice, I'm gonna go ahead and take a measurement, an unofficial measurement, but you can see about 3 fingers fit there. We're looking at like 2 fingers here, very tight. We're looking at almost maybe 3 fingers there. And the back here, it's gonna be 2 fingers in. Same thing for the other side. Now, before I even continue, I want you guys to make sure, because I'm very transparent. If this is your first time to my channel, I'm very transparent. And I am, I guess you would say, sponsored by Doug Thorley, as in they send me headers for build. They give me discounts, stuff like that. So I do promote them. But if you're a subscriber or a customer, I always offer you what's best for your vehicle. It's not necessarily a brand, it's whatever fits your budget and whatever's quality. All right, so the next check I'm going to do is more of a functional check, something that everybody's going to have to deal with eventually, and that is replacing the spark plugs. So I like to always check and show you guys what I run through when I use Chinese headers. And for that, I'm going to use my favorite spark plug socket because it has a universal joint here. So we're going to check fit every single spark plug to see if it fits. So first is number 1. It fits with no issues. Move on to number 3. See how it's at an angle? It won't go in. It should go in this way, but because the header's there, I can't get a socket all the way in there. And I'm not sure if you can get the shorter socket. This is going to be a problem regardless. This is number 5. Again, it won't go all the way in. Now, if you try to break it loose like that, you are going to strip that spark plug wire or spark plug out because it's around the edge. And the last one, see if that one fits. And that one does. That one goes all the way in. So that one shouldn't be a problem to replace. The first one shouldn't be a problem to replace. The 2 middle ones are going to be an issue. Now let's go over to the passenger side. Run the same test. So like I said, this is something that you guys are going to do in the future. You guys will be replacing spark plugs. So let's check the fit. Right off the bat, get in there. All right, so number 2 is good. Number 2 fits. Number 4 is not going to fit. You see the angle there, the gap that I have. There's no way that's going to fit. Number 6 fits. And then the last one, fits as well. So the only issue we had on this side was with this one not fitting. Now I have run into headers where they don't fit and you literally have to pull the header off every time to replace the spark plugs. Now imagine doing that to both sides. So I'm gonna go ahead and pull these off and I'm gonna install the ductile leads. I'm even gonna show you guys, I'm gonna do a video on how to install them, or so you guys can see me install them so you can see how easy they go in. And I did mention the two wires over here that were touching. One of them was misfiring, one of them was just touching. Over here, I believe we had one touching, but I didn't see any physical damage to them. These are the wires that came out. So we're just gonna assume that the only one that was misfiring was on number 5. So since I don't have any kind of fancy music to play while I pull these headers off, I'm gonna go ahead and give myself a plug. Check out my website below if you guys want to support the channel. Buy some merch. I definitely appreciated it. I'm a small shop. Even the builds that I do, I'm a one-man shop. I build them out of my garage, and I do one swap at a time. That's why I'm able to take my time, do everything correctly. Whereas other shops, they rush everything because they have a time limit. That's all is money for them. And if they run into issues, they just move on and wait for the customer to pick up their shit like 2 weeks later when they get frustrated, or maybe even 2 years later. But let's get back to the video. So I'm pulling the headers off now, and then we're gonna go ahead and compare them side by side. All right, so now that we have them off the car, let's go ahead and compare them. And we have both the passenger side and the driver's side. And as you can see, now these flanges here, they're universal. A lot of companies make them, or maybe there's one company that makes them. I don't know, but they are thick. So people always say, "Oh man, they fit perfect. They bolted up perfect." Yeah, that's just this part here. That's not that hard to make. You know, you make one design, you measure it out, you repeat, you do them, you make them in bulk. So that's not a huge issue. These always, I've hardly ever had an issue with those actually fitting, no matter the brand. Well, except for one. But you can see the bend here. That's where our issue is going to be because every company makes them a little bit different. So you can see the gap. That one's not bad. We did have fitment issues with this one, if you guys remember. I could probably put 2 fingers in there. Now this is the one time you want her to be loose. So as you can see on these right here, look at the huge gap. Same cylinder right there. That and that. So you can see how much of a gap it has. Look at 4 fingers in, 4 fingers in. Huge gap. Same thing for the driver's side. You can see the gaps here are small. Now this is going to be more evident once we do our spark plug socket test, but I just want to show you a comparison and you can see how much bigger these primaries are compared to the Chinese one. Now again, I'm going to reemphasize, it's not all Chinese brands. I'm not super patriotic. I did serve in the Marine Corps, but I'm not like gun-ho, buy American only. This is just saying that whenever you buy a header from Amazon, eBay, even Speed Engineering, some brand that's not as well known on Amazon or eBay, you're probably gonna get something like this. That'll bolt up. The frame might not clear. These did, but the frame might not clear. You have to hammer these out, or you're gonna have spark plug wires touch, or you're gonna have to remove the header to replace the spark plugs. So instead of doing that, spend an extra $200, buy a quality set. Not these; these are a little bit more premium. But you could get a set like, say, for example, Headman, something like that. Headman is also made in China. Some of Hooker's is made in China. You can tell by the price, but the quality as far as fitment is there. So it's extra. It's worth it to spend the extra $200 to get a quality set. Like I always say, um, what do I always fucking say? Buy once, cry once. Spend the extra money, right, guys? So let's go ahead and get these installed and check out the difference. So again, guys, no fancy music, just me talking. So we're gonna do the driver's side first. This one usually has it's a little bit harder to install. Usually we come into the bottom because of the freaking steering shaft, but on these, they actually came into the top and they fit real nice. And you can look at my bald head and freaking my white hair. That white hair comes from all these customers asking me for quotes. I give them a freaking quote and then they want me to price match shit. It's like, bro, I don't even want to do your swap. If you're on a budget and you're like crying about like freaking $20 to subscribe to my Instagram, I am not the guy for you. Find someone else. That's why I always say, like, don't ask me for quotes. Now, if you subscribe to my Instagram and you hang out there for a while and you start like getting to know me and see my quality, and then you ask me, hey, when are you available? That's the customer I want because he's focused on quality. He's not focused on budget. Now, usually the passenger side, they fit in a lot easier. There's always a gap. You don't have to worry about the steering shaft. So as you can see, these came into the top nicely on both sides. They came into the top, which was very nice because you don't need two people. Usually on the driver's side, you need someone to come in from the bottom and then someone on top guiding them in. But these duct authorities surprisingly fit really, very easily. So let's go ahead and get back to the video. All right, guys, so there it is. Both sides are installed. You can see the clearance. Even though they come out further, you can see the clearance where the frame is at is still there. So you don't have to worry about those rubbing. Now on this side too, you notice the clearance on the frame is still there. Now this is a 67 Chevy truck, and the frame is a K5 Blazer 72, I believe, or 71. So it's not like exactly a direct bolt on for this combination, but it fits. And these headers are specifically for a 67 Chevy truck. You can also see how easy that was to install. I didn't have to come into the bottom. Usually that side you might have to come into the bottom on some headers. This one, it's usually easy to come into the top. Shouldn't be an issue. Now we're going to go ahead and use a spark plug socket to show you guys to see if we could also actually fit it in every single spark plug, or do we have to pull the headers off to replace spark plug socket or spark plugs. You see number 2 fits, so let's go ahead and move to number 4. Number 4 also fits, no problem. Moving on to number 6. Number 6 fits, no problem. And number 8 shouldn't be a problem. It's on the end. That fits, no problem. So let's go ahead and check out the driver's side now. And we're going to go with number 1. On the other Chinese headers, that wasn't a problem. The 2 center ones were. So let's check these right here. That one fits. I'm going to go ahead and switch hands because, all right, here you go. Because it's easier to get to stuff this way. So this one was a problem. The other one, as you can see, it fits all the way in. So that's not going to be a problem with these headers. Now we're going to go to number 5. This was also a problem. This is when I was misfiring in the other headers. Look at that. Plenty of clearance all the way around. No problem. And the last one, let's see if that one fits. Again, no problem. Look at that clearance. Plenty of clearance there. So it's pretty clear as far as which headers perform better. Now again, I'm not saying all Chinese brands, but if you're buying headers and they're under $350, you're gonna have issues. Most likely, you're gonna have issues. With that being said, if you guys have any questions, comment down below. Don't ask me what headers fit your vehicle. I don't fucking know. I usually just look up parts for my customers. I don't really answer too many technical questions on here, or even Instagram. Now, if you want to subscribe to my Instagram, the link is right here. Well, not the link, but this is my Instagram handle here. You can subscribe, and I will answer any of your questions. I'll help you get your LS swap started. If you already started your swap, I'll help you finish it. Any question you can ask in there. The LS swap is the subscriber section on Instagram. Also, any new subscribers for the rest of this month, which is September, if you subscribe, shoot me a DM with your name, your shirt size, and your address, and I will send you a free LS Swap SD subscriber t-shirt. We have different ones. We have some that say no BS tech support, better than tech support, and then we have one that says fixing other people's shit since 2020. So make sure you guys support, because I don't really get paid off of this channel, but if you guys like these type of videos, I will make more. And the way you guys can show me your support is by using this coupon code down here, buy some merch. That way I know where you guys came from, and I'll make more videos. And don't forget to like, comment, share this video, and subscribe to this YouTube channel, so that way I keep making more videos and start getting paid for this stuff. And I will see you guys on the next video.